Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if we never get back, 'cause it's root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. Hey guys, Chris, strat-o-matic Delaware. It is the stat show for week 2, the midway point of the Deadball League. I would have had this done last night, but my daughter hijacked me for 3 hours of gaming, which I gladly gave into. Had a great evening last evening. I got 3 teams done. Got off of work early today, finished the other 3 teams, so we have our stat show going. Here are the standings in the center of the screen. For those of you watching on a smaller monitor, I will point it out for you. 1911 Philadelphia Athletics are leading the league 7-3. 1 game behind them are the 1909 Tigers and 1919 Chicago White Sox at 6-4 each. 3 games back, 1906 Chicago Cubs, 1909 Pittsburgh Pirates at 4-6 each, bringing up the rear 4 games behind the leaders, the 1905 New York Giants, who are 3-7. And I thought I would do a couple of different things with this stat show, as we highlight players for each team, showing their cards here, and also going to show each score sheet, so that way at any point if you would like to pause to check things out a little more closely, I'm more than happy to point out what we have here. But first is the 1911 Philadelphia Athletics visiting the 1909 Detroit Tigers. First game of that series, first series of the week. First, let's look at the 1905 New York Giants, bringing up the rear at 3-7. As you can see, Sam Mertz, left fielder, third in the order, is doing very, very well. Batting 20 of 42 for a .476 league-leading batting average. Stolen 6 bases, league-leading. And you can see his card, honestly, a .279 batting average. Nothing really outstanding about it, but he is rolling the dice so far early in the Deadball League. Let's go ahead and flip this over for the second game of the Athletics and Tigers series. Let's go to the pitchers for the Giants. 3-7. And Christy Mathewson is doing okay. I think he's been shellacked a little bit. 31.2 innings, leading the Giants as far as innings pitched. 2 complete games, 25 strikeouts, 3.17 ERA. Everybody else in the league has an ace pitching below 2. And I think that's what it is. The Giants are giving up a lot of earned runs. A lot of runs in general. As you can see, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 less earned runs than runs allowed. So they have given up 20, 30, 41 runs in 10 games. So they're giving up 4 runs a game. Not the best way to do it in this league. You've seen a lot of low-scoring games. And a couple of really high-scoring games, kind of like this one with Philadelphia. But Mathewson with 25 Ks, league leading. I mean, he's got a few strikeouts here and there. Not quite as many as that might indicate, but then again, it's early in the season. He's rolling the dice. He's getting pretty good. So let's go ahead and move on to the 1909 Pittsburgh Pirates as we change the game as well to game 1 of the 1909 White Sox and 1906 Cubs Chicago battle here. So anyway, we have the 1909 Pittsburgh Pirates. They're 4-6, 3 games back, tied for 4th. Honus Wagner is the best player so far. He's leading the team with 3 doubles, 2 triples. He's got a home run, 7 RBI, batting .378. He's drawn 8 walks. Typically doing very well for him. No league leading stats other than the walks drawn, so he's getting on base. I mean, that's 22 trips. 14 hits, 8 walks. That's 22 trips on base. So Honus Wagner is getting it done for the Bucks as best he can. And the better pitcher for the Pirates would be Nick-Matic, as we flip to Game 2 of the White Sox and Cubs. These are all Week 2. All of these stats are right here. All of these are right here. Nick-Matic leads the team in 34.1 innings pitched, leads in 2 wins, leads in 2 complete games, 3.15 ERA. Actually, the Pirates are the only other team that doesn't have a sub-2 ERA ace, if I recall correctly. But they got a 3.15 and a 3.12 in Howie Kamnitz. But Nick-Matic, doing well. 11 strikeouts, 5 walks, so he's got a good ratio there. He's given up 36 hits. But he's pitched 8 more innings than Howie Kamnitz, 13 and a bit more innings than Vic Willis. So the Pirates at 4-6. Nobody is out of it yet because these are all-time great teams, and this is the Deadball League. So we're going to move on to the other team at 4-6, the 1906 Chicago Cubs. And let's change games. We will go to the second group of series. This is the 1919 Chicago White Sox visiting the 1911 Philadelphia Athletics. A's won at 13-12 in 9. Came from behind in the 9th inning. But the Chicago Cubs, Wildfire Schulte, Frank Schulte, the right fielder, doing very well, leading the team at the plate. He scored 6 runs, 13 hits, 2 doubles, 2 triples, 2 homers, 342 batting average, stolen 2 bases, 4 walks. He's a 281 batter. He's overachieving a little bit. Again, it's early in the year. Some players are going to do very well, some players not so well. You're going to see some of these starters like Jimmy Sheckard, Johnny Kling. They're below the Mendoza line, so it's early in the season. You don't have 154 games for it to balance out. But, you know, it is what it is. Pitching is all about Three Fingers Brown as we flip the game score sheet for Game 2 of the 1919 Chicago White Sox and 1911 Philadelphia Athletics series. But yeah, Three Fingers Brown, Mordecai Brown, is on the mound, on the hill, doing it for the Cubs. 34.2 innings pitched. He's won 2 games, same as Jack Pfister. 3 complete games, tied for league lead. He's got a shutout. Struck out 16. He's got an ERA of 1.30. So Brown is definitely leading the way. He is the man on the mound for the Cubs. Very characteristic of himself. And looking at the card, you see a few singles high on the 4 column. He's got a single split on 5-7, and everything else is strikeouts, fly balls, X results, and not many X results. He pretty much took everything into his own hands. He was a very good pitcher. So that would be the Cubs. Next, we're going to go to one of the 6-4 teams. The 1909 Detroit Tigers, the team that won that stinking marathon the other night. 20 innings against the Pirates. While we are showing you the second series, 1905 New York Giants and 1909 Pittsburgh Pirates right here. The Tigers, they don't really have a standout, but how can you not show Ty Cobb's card? It's Ty Cobb. He is batting .381, leading the team, and tied for the team lead with 4 stolen bases. 4 out of 9. They've played some really good catchers, and Cobb has rolled some really poor rolls. He's co-leading the team in 16 hits, co-leader in 1 triple, and he's got the only homer for the Tigers. He's drawn 6 walks. He's doing very well, characteristic of himself, aside perhaps from the stolen bases. And if we look for the pitching for the team, you're going to see that George Mullen is doing very well for the Tigers as we go to the second game in that series between the Giants and the Pirates. George Mullen, league leading 37 innings pitched. He's doing very well, tied for team lead In wins with Ralph Works at 2, 3 complete games, struck out 8. Not a lot of strikeouts on the Tigers team, but 1909. Why did I write 1919? Dear Lord. Gotta make that right. Can't go any further with a dummy error like that. 1909 Detroit. Had the White Sox on the brain. But Mullen with a 170 ERA. You've got some good pitching on the Tigers. I mean, you look at 277 for Summers with 26 innings, 404 for Ed Willett at 22.1. Out of the bullpen, Wild Bill Donovan, almost 10 innings, and he's under 1. And Ralph Works is 6 innings, 2 wins in relief at 3. You've got a good team ERA going for the Tigers. And I think that's making up for not too many standout batters. So the Tigers are 6-4. They're waiting for the Wood to pick it up and get the team going. So let's go ahead and go to the other 6-4 team that is in second place. The 1919 Chicago White Sox. As we change the game here yet again, and we are looking at the second series between the 1906 Cubs and the 1909 Detroit Tigers. First game of that 2-game series. And you look at this, and you've got Hap Felsch is leading the league with 10 RBIs. Swede Risberg leading the league with 2 home runs. Chick Gandil leading the team with 394 batting average. But you look at Eddie Collins on the top row there. 7 runs scored, tied with Risberg for the team lead. 17 base hits, 3 doubles, leading with Chick Gandil. A triple, 4 RBI, 370 batting average, stolen 4 out of 8 bases, gotten 3 walks. Eddie Collins, cocky, is really doing a very good job at the plate and on the base paths for the White Sox. 319 batting average in 1919. He's a little ahead, but again, very short season, even if it wasn't beginning of the season. And we go to look at the pitching staff for the White Sox as we change this game to the second of the 2-game series between the Chicago Cubs and the Detroit Tigers. Eddie Cicotte, by far and above, is really doing it for the White Sox. 35 innings pitched, won 2 games. He's 2-1. So is Lefty Williams. Dickie Kerr has 2 wins. He's got 3 complete games to lead the league, 2 shutouts to lead the league. Eddie Cicotte with 2 shutouts, league leading 129 ERA. Eddie Cicotte. It's not going to get much better than that at all. It really isn't. Eddie Cicotte, probably the best pitcher in the league to this point. Leading the way for the Chicago White Sox. And we're going to go to the number 1 team in this league at 7-3, the 1911 Philadelphia Athletics. And sorry, I couldn't justify putting Ruby's card here. Rube Oldring, my favorite baseball player of all time. As we change this game to the final 3-game series, this one between the Chicago Cubs and the New York Giants. Let's look at the A's. At the plate, Frank Home Run Candlestick Maker Baker. Thank you, Al Red Sox fan. Led the team with 18 base hits so far, 4 doubles, 10 RBI, 400 batting average. He's doing pretty good. In a 334 batter, so he's being very characteristic. His 1 column is murder from 4 to 10. He's got a base hit. His 2 column, 5-6, and a skinny split on 7. And he's got a couple of walks over on 3 down low. He's got a pretty good card, and he is leading the way, as is indicative of what his card would do. As we flip this over to the second game in that series between the Cubs and the Giants. Can you see that well? Yeah, okay. Let's look at the Athletics pitching, and it's 2 words. Eddie Plank. A big argument for best pitcher in the league, but without the shutouts, without quite as low a ERA, he's a very close second to Seacott. He's second in innings pitched on the team. Jack Coombs leads with 31.0, but Eddie Plank has 27 innings, 3-0, 3 complete games. He's only given up 19 hits, only 5 earned runs. He's leading the team with 17 strikeouts, a 1.67 ERA. They're along that third row. And Eddie Plank is just doing a fantastic job. You can see he's giving up very few hits over here on his 4 column. 1 split on his 5-4 for a homer. A 7 on his 5 column for a single. Everything else is strikeouts, ground balls, fly ball here or there. A smattering of a walk in his 5-12. He's got a really good card, a 2.10 ERA pitcher. He's pitching right along so far. He's doing very well. And we will go ahead and change this to the marathon game, the 20-inning game. If you really wanted a good look at the score sheet, there it is. 09 Pirates, 09 Tigers. And you've got the scores by inning up to the 15th, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Finals. Have a look at it. The longest game I've ever played in strat-o-matic right there. But yes, it really, the Deadball League is alive and well. The Deadball League is doing very well. We have our upcoming schedule for week 3. The first 2-game series, all the teams are participating in the first round of 2-game series. We have the 1919 Chicago White Sox visiting the 1909 Pittsburgh Pirates. The Pirates are 4-6, are looking to climb a little bit. 1905 New York Giants will be visiting the 1909 Detroit Tigers. John McGraw looking for a reason to not get drunk. 1906 Chicago Cubs will be visiting the 1911 Philadelphia Athletics. Athletics at home for 2 sets of series in a row. Then we go to the second set of 2-game series where New York and Pittsburgh will be sitting out. Kind of a bye kind of thing. So they'll get to finish with their pitching staff a little bit. But you're going to have the 1906 Cubs visiting the 1919 White Sox, another Chi-Town battle. You're going to have the 1909 Tigers visiting the Athletics. And then we go to the third set of 2-game series, and you'll have the Athletics visiting the Chicago White Sox of 1919. You'll have the Pirates visiting the Giants, and the Cubs visiting the Tigers as we flip this over for the final game of the 2-game series between Pittsburgh and Detroit, which Detroit also won. But yeah, that is Dead Ball wrapped up right there. Week 2 in the bag. This is the stat show. And guys, again, this is Chris, strat-o-matic Delaware, and we will be rolling some Dead Ball perhaps this evening. Friday is going to be dinner with my mama. Saturday is going to be a radio event. Sunday is going to have my birthday, probably. So I don't know exactly when I'll be able to squeeze it in. We shall see. Perhaps 1, even 2 series tonight. Who knows? But again, this is Chris, strat-o-matic Delaware, Deadball League, alive and well, halfway through. Time to start bringing this sucker home. Guys, take care of yourselves. Have a great evening. Keep on rolling.